Hello and welcome to another episode of my Facts and Glitches series, where I continue to showcase more of what I've learned about GTA 5 in my over 12,000 hours of playing and from my awesome viewers. On the mission Mr. Phillips, Trevor pushes Ortega and his trailer into the river. This trailer remains unchanged in the river all the way up until you complete the mission Hood Safari, when the entire area, including the trailer, inexplicably returns to how it was before Trevor destroyed it. It might surprise you to learn that the reason for this magic cleanup is that Hood Safari unlocks the Sea Shark races.
Hey, we should race these motherfuckers.
We are racing, you idiot! Racing away from the dudes trying to kill us.
I mean another time. They got sea shark races all over the city.
One of the unlocked Sea Shark races runs through the river that Ortega's trailer was previously blocking. Honestly, I think removing the trailer entirely would have made more sense compared to putting it back exactly where it was before the incidents. Also, while a Cargobob normally can't pick up buildings, including Ortega's trailer, when the trailer is in the river, you can actually pick it up. Obviously, this doesn't really achieve anything practical, but the unrealistic water currents and garbage that it leaves behind are at least fairly funny. While Rockstar tried to nerf the bike strategy of using bunny hopping for massive speed, they accidentally allowed a new way to do it that is even faster. It works by first jumping a bit, and then holding front brake with forward, and then spamming jump. As I said, this is actually much faster than it used to be on the older patches, and it is easier to control, but turning is much harder. There is a little known strategy to go fast with helicopters that requires a keyboard. The max speed of this Frogger, for example, is 230 km per hour. But if you wiggle the helicopter from side to side using the roll keys, it can get up to 255 km per hour. You do lose height, so you can't do this forever, but it is used in speedruns for obvious reasons. Some vehicles are broken in the mechanics and not in the way that you'd expect. While it's normal that you can rev your engine, specifically with front-wheel drive vehicles like this Karen Dilettante, you can both spin your wheels and move forward. Here is another example with the Surge, showing it's not just unique to the Karen. You can even drive so far forward that you hit the opposite wall, which creates some fairly broken camera angles for the fitting of vehicle upgrades. You can also pop your tires from overuse, yet you can still upgrade them and repair them before you leave. The obvious approach to the Big Score heist sees us using a monstrously large cutter to get inside the bank. But did you know you can actually drive it out of the tunnels? It is understandably a very slow and long drive, and at the midpoint, you have to specifically turn your camera to spawn a subway train. This train is necessary to push you past the few areas where you would normally get stuck. Once outside, you can freely roam the map as there are no fail conditions. Going to the front of the Union Depository shows no signs of Michael and the rest of the crew, who within the story are meant to be pulling a robbery at the front as a distraction.
Get down! Get down on the floor, you're being robbed!
After over 10 years of it being in the game, Rockstar has finally fixed the bug on the mission complications, where if your FPS was too high, it would result in a mission fail. More specifically, if your FPS was above 120, then the red car that Simeon was selling would slide, and that would be enough to cause the fail. Anyone who didn't know why this bug occurred literally could not complete this section, and so had to use the mission skip feature to progress. After Rockstar implemented the fix, you can now go to the mission with any FPS you like, and everything works just fine. For example, here I am with 188 FPS without issue. There is a strange mission fail that very few people would ever get to see on Franklin's side mission Paparazzo, the sex tape. After recording the couple on the table, Franklin is meant to run forward off to the cars with Beverly. If instead you take a detour to the pools and jump in some water, you fail due to ruining the footage. Initially, this may appear to make sense, but if you look closely, the footage gets ruined the second Franklin's toes touch the water. Amazingly, if Franklin even goes through a puddle of water, this will destroy the film in his camera that he's holding around his chest. During the roof approach to the Bureau raid, a smoke bomb is dropped down to obscure our vision. Where this smoke bomb comes from is actually kinda strange. It originates from a single enemy that spawns on the roof. He runs up to the glass holding a grenade launcher, and then a modified shot just appears in the air, deleting the glass and falling down below. Do note that the angle of the shot makes no sense if it actually originated from his gun. The enemy then runs away and literally disappears. Despite the smoke bomb not even originating from his gun, it turns out that you can kill this enemy and stop the smoke being dropped down. The smoke bomb still goes off, just now on the corpse of the enemy, at least until he disappears. The only thing this really achieves is making the shootout just a little bit easier, but it is funny that Franklin and Michael will still speak as if the smoke came down.
Oh shit, they smoking us out! It's just a little smoke, people!
A part of GTA 5's story sees Trevor and Michael exiled from Los Santos by Martin Madrazo, who will try to kill them if they return.
My spotter saw you coming into the city, Michael. You will be dead soon.
During their exile, they go to scope out the Palito Bank on the mission Palito Score setup. Once you pick up Lester, if instead of going to the bank you drive to Los Santos, the game will mission fail you for entering the city while exiled.
I thought you were meant to stay away from the city limits. I don't want to get caught up in this.
This would make sense, except this is literally the only mission and the only scene where you fail for going to Los Santos while exiled. On the same mission before you pick up Lester, you can go to the city just fine. After you scope out the bank, you can take Michael and Lester to the city, or you can also take Trevor. On the prior mission Minor Turbulence, you can also take Trevor to the city without any consequences. In the next mission Predator, you can use your helicopter to take the whole gang including Chop to Los Santos, and not receive a mission fail. With this context, you can now understand how strange this mission fail is in this specific scene in the Palito Score setup. Even stranger is that they made multiple lines for Lester to reference this.
Last I heard, you'd get turned into a hamburger patty if you went near town. That's still true? I don't want to get caught up in this.
Did somebody say yoga is often mocked as a very boring mission in GTA 5, but it does at least have a funny mission fail. If you somehow manage to fail the yoga inputs 3 times, the game will fail you because Michael did not reach enlightenment. I can guarantee you that no one in the entire world has experienced a certain mission fail on the mission Blitz play. After you ran the security truck off the road, you would think that our crew would want to blow open the security van doors as soon as possible. This is a heist after all. Bare minimum, someone's going to notice that the van's missing and the cops are going to be swarming in. The game, however, has different expectations. For some reason, Rockstar made it so you have 25 in real life hours to blow open the doors before you mission fail. You would have to sit, failing to open these doors for over a day before you would eventually mission fail. It seems sensible to say that they didn't intend it to be this way and it was just an error, especially as the codes suggest that at some point in development, it was only 1 minute and 30 seconds before you failed. Regardless, this error has meant it so no one has naturally seen this mission fail in this scene before. Most people don't know that you have full control over the helicopter on the mission Eye in the Sky. You can therefore point the camera out to sea and go out as far as you like, at least until you mission fail and it informs you that the chopper left the city, a mission fail text I suspect almost no one has ever seen. The mission Minor Turbulence sees Trevor fly a crop duster into the back of a cargo plane. However, something interesting happens if you don't fly in. Eventually, the soldiers at the back will shoot your engine to the degree that it malfunctions, and the game will provide you help text saying that the crop duster is in a glide due to engine damage. It further informs you that it can still be landed safely. This is strange because this help text doesn't seem to appear outside of this mission. Of course, in the mission, if you tried to land as suggested by the help text, you'd simply mission fail because the crop duster was unable to get into the plane. On the mission Derailed, we escape the Merryweather by going down a waterfall and taking a long river journey out to sea. Logically, there is actually another way to escape them, as you can just turn around and drive right back up the waterfall. While this is clearly a more optimal route for escape, unfortunately, this is denied to us as mission failed text will declare that we have abandoned the pre-approved mission route. This is one of the many instances of Rockstar restricting our gameplay. The mission Minor Turbulence sees you flying a cargo jet with the foolish goal of landing it at the runway in Mackenzie Field. If you instead fly out into the ocean, you get to experience what very few people did while playing the game. This being the plane's wings getting randomly detached and the game failing you strangely not because of that, but instead because you got too far away from Mackenzie Field. The mission Legal Trouble sees us chasing down Molly to take back our film. You might think that the optimal thing to do for this mission would be to bring a helicopter for the chase. Unfortunately, when you get in the helicopter, the game informs you that the airport has restricted airspace and it tells you to get another vehicle. If you instead ignore this warning and use it in the chase anyway, it fails you for flying into restricted airspace. This of course makes no sense, as we already have a wanted level and police attention. It is just one more way that Rockstar restricts our gameplay. The mission Lamar Down attempts to get you to choose one of 3 approaches for the shootout to save Lamar. One of these approaches involves taking a bulldozer, so understandably if you destroy it, you get a mission fail. It is still somewhat funny that if you drive slightly past the bulldozer and trigger the enemies, you can then destroy the bulldozer with absolutely no consequences. Generally speaking, in GTA 5, we treat security personnel like trash. They are just enemies that we can kill whenever we want to, and the resulting wanted level does nothing to deter this. However, on the setup for the obvious big score approach, there is one particular security guard that is different. Once you steal the cutter from the lot, Lester tells you where to take it.
There's a guy working at the parking lot around from the Union Depository. He'll let you in.
Arriving at the lot, you see his contact, a security guard that Lester has paid off.
Your weird little pal gave me an envelope. Leave the truck up there and I'll look after it.
If you shoot him, you will receive a mission fail for killing Lester's contacts. I suspect very few people would have ever seen this mission fail screen, and it honestly makes sense that we are expected to uphold Lester's reputation for reliability. With that being said, after the mission, of course Lester's contact instantly disappears, because I'm sure people would end up killing him anyway.
Your guy was cool, Les.
At the chicken factory in Paleto Bay, there is a window that when looked through, it shows the room as having no roof. This is odd because it clearly has one that you can climb up to and stand on. And while you can shoot into the room, there is an invisible wall that prevents you from going inside by any means. Invisible walls are not uncommon in GTA 5, but it is strange that every other room here is modeled and accessible. Quite strange. During Ending C, the third way, Trevor is sent after Steve Haynes, Michael after Stretch, and Franklin after Mr. Cheng. I suspect very few people ever try to take out one of the targets with the wrong character. Michael of course has personal beef with Steve, but if you use Michael to take him out, you simply get a mission fail that reads, "The wrong person alerted Haynes, bring heat down on the crew." Honestly, I don't think that makes any sense. Franklin has personal beef with Stretch, but if you go and kill Stretch with Franklin, you get basically the same text. Things are different with Mr. Cheng, as he does not spawn in for anyone but Franklin, and once spawned in, you cannot change characters. It is therefore impossible to kill Mr. Cheng with Trevor, but even if you could, I suspect you just get the same mission fail text. The narrative justification for each character needing to kill a particular target is very slim. Trevor just calls dibs on Steve Haynes, Michael says it's better to keep Franklin away from Stretch as he is a known associate, and Franklin gets Mr. Cheng because he's all that remains. Even based on these flimsy justifications, other characters should be able to take out each target. At the end of Ending B, the times come, Franklin pursues Michael up a ladder, and Michael shoots down at Franklin, hitting the ladder near him before running back behind the silo. Something funny occurs if you continuously go up and down the ladder, as Michael will be continuously warped back to the top of the ladder to shoot at Franklin again.
I know it. I thought about it, man. This the only way.
So that's it for this episode, thank you for watching. If you think you know of anything that would be of interest to this series, feel free to add it to my Discord. I hope you're all doing well.